Bassar could use my help too. She's all brains, but no branding.
subterranean madhouse truly offers no shortage of nightmarish dangers.
I sense the Rift program flowing through my subsystems. The information is quite stimulating. All that remains is to restore the archive reactor.
The console provides the system.
The archive reactor requires manual maintenance. The Protectorate bunker mech is a formidable obstacle. Made with those very best technology. Technology.
A creative workaround might be of considerable worth, namely via the reactor's backup security systems.
We have options, it would seem. Turrets, sealing doors to block reinforcements. I'm in favor of the latter more than the former myself. I also know the presence of supply caches, which may bolster our defensive efforts.
And then there's the fire suppression system. No lack of options here.
Emergency first aid cache unsealed. Reactor fire suppression system online.
Bunker automechanicals are not subtle in the least, just pure brute force. A lot of brute force.
Oh, how we prevail, us above all else who fail.
Quick once over.
I shall not
The archive reactor has been returned to operational status. Requisite tasks complete. Return to the archive central interface to initiate processing. I am analyzing the Rift data further. What an interesting predicament you sentients face. The Rifts are almost ancient.
Any other updates? In the meantime, restoring the archive to full function.
Welcome back, Sentient. Now that you've returned, we can
Bring every single last bit out of consumers. Monopolize all stages of the supply chain.
make the paradigm real and fashion a true utopia. Workarounds failing, erroring others supplanting commands. Purge required.
Please, make it stop talking. Let's just resolve this and get that data processed.
Priority control access NUC unsealed. Initiate purge.
The doors ahead open. I think our journey through these horrid tunnels is near its close. Thank the architect.
Benevolent oversight.
Dream of belonging. The lore of security and plenty. Foster dependence. Denounce interdependence. Promote the informer. Stop condemn the what question your neighbor's thinner. I suspect they'd be why. You don't want your rivals to win now, do you? Collective goodwill is just an vandalism, sabotage, wanton defacement. Halt this foolishness immediately, or run the risk of Hold on now. Remember, I am a full-service business. Start now, and I'll waive dozens of hidden maintenance fees. Think of you drive a hard bargain. All right, 40-60 split of net profits. I'd offer more, but I have a move. Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. You have earned my deepest gratitude and sincerest thanks. Or at least, a plausibly faint simulacrum of such emotions. Ready to commence Rift data processing. Awaiting your input.
Looking forward to seeing the results we get from processing that Rift data. For, purely professional reasons, of course.
Shall I proceed? Initiating processing of the requested data toward the required end. Estimated duration, 180 trillion and 1 picoseconds. In the interim, may I inquire to your intentions for the archive after the Rift data calculations have concluded? I have a prioritized list of suggestions. I contend that solving of the universal then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. Just a start. But my query remains. What are your next intentions? Seeing as how my priorities are largely modeled after a founder of the Order, I expect returning to Rift data processing complete. The previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but their results contained flaws. Your more comprehensive data generated a solution with 98.9% certainty. The Protectorate's was below 50%. Therefore, modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental Rift device with this information has a high chance of success. Assuming there is nothing else, I am commencing file reorderization and will be unavailable for an unspecified period of time. The remaining display case within the entryway is now unsealed. In it contains...
I've had enough of this miserable moon for 10 lifetimes. I would prefer we return to the ship and follow the data trail. But if you wish to explore further, I suppose I shall follow your lead.
The congratulations are in order. Unless I'm mistaken, I gather you've accomplished. On behalf of the Order and Auntie's Choice, I thank you for your efforts. This will most certainly help in ensuring peace. Now, the Calcaduceus, if you please.
Agreed to turn over the relic after processing your data. Are you indicating you now intend to deviate from this compact? prepares for all eventualities. I'll allow you to draw your own conclusions regarding what will happen should you break our accord. If you will not cooperate...
Taking punitive action! And yet I must. You have my thanks and my thanks.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Individualism in all its meant. Remember, the prudence dictates. hindrances.
Feeling distracted.
Prudence dictates. Defended.
Our enemies. Greg on a
Remember, all subjects prosper under the guidance of our benevolent ruler. Invasive elements.
Analyzing. Is that what I think it is?
Malefactor ahead.
Conceivable. None shall stand against us!
Stand ready. Our foes are close.
See that?
Progressing!
To battle!
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Inexplicable input. Investigating phenomena.
Unspecified peculiarities. Warren. Electing differently.
To verify my trepidation.
Punitive action. I am primed to punish.
I have nothing to say, unless you want to discuss the inverse of the Planck function.
disturbance.
Measures at the ready, Commander. To battle!
Recharged.
Summer two preceding numbers gives us max, brings us.
This unit requests your presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter.
Though I know it to be a lost cause, I must ask, mightn't there be some way to teach that color? I caught her rifling through my belongings. Well, next time if she expects to...
A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. Providing intellectual validation based on energy readings. Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the Archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. Acknowledge. Briefing complete. Now...
We're about to rendezvous with the Rift. Return is possible, but not probable. And I still have unfinished business. Just in case you'd forgotten, dear. I'm all for taking the aggressive approach with the Rift, although I suspect I'd be more helpful if I wasn't...
May all... Figures that are all our time avoid... But that suits me fine. You know I can't go a day without attempting some heroics in the face of danger.
That ain't yours! Stop and submit for interrogation! Stop! My records show you have an outstanding fine for past offenses. Pay up, or face Auntie's justice. I'm listening. Funny you should say that. I've been entertaining a theory this was a mere misunderstanding and you were a trustworthy sort. Pleases me to see I had the right of it. Pleasure doing
The story of Auntie Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend, to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation. Spacer's Choice swollen-headed mascot represents the worst impulses of old corporations, who unfairly stacked the deck against the little person, as they tried with us at Tau Ceti. But did Auntie Cleo take Spacer's Choice deviant shenanigans lying down? No! Just like our sponsored tossball team, the Auntie Cleo's darlings refused to do when things were down at the end of the sponsorship series against the Spacers Chosen.
I'm Jean Turfer-Tyler, sixth base person for the Auntie Cleo's Darlings. I cleaved Spacers Chosen's goalie at the end of the 56th inning, then made a Sunday goal to win the game.
Welcome to Head Office Tower. Again?
Wave one! Hostile takeover set! Right back at you.
be able to leave this office. You're back! Finally! Finally! Do you have it? Did you bring it here? A last-minute shakedown, is it? I knew I liked... Oh, let me see it. If you'll all just excuse me a moment...
There you are. Congratulations. Now your body's almost as intimidating as your mind. You've narrowed the...
Oh, Auntie, you look amazing. Absolutely.
What about you? What do you think? Any first impressions you'd like to share? Wonderful! Exactly what's more, it's an undeniable confirmation that the Archive-derived strategic plan can be reliably executed with their predictive abilities refining our planning and Yes, so much. I am quite looking for... There you are. My field manager informed me about Bazaar. Oh, tasty bit of service. Very efficient. Take it she didn't give you too much trouble. No need to cast about in a desultory fashion. Take... As they say, time is capital, time is bits. There you are. My field manager informed me about Bazaar. Oh, no need to fret. We'd fire you far before that. We'll put you out to pasture at the first hint of... There you are.
Aggressor at hand.
Void, damn it, Commander! How can I possibly reform the grafting? I need to go. Put as much distance between you and myself and beg Auntie's forgiveness. If I don't, I'll never get another chance. And if the rifts aren't closed, there'll be no program to reform. All right, I'll stay. But if you want me...
So, we met what passes for the presiding bishop these days. Can't say I came off much impressed. Oh, I had plenty on my mind during that conversation, trust me. I am still a member of the Order and work in its best interests. I believe I can do that best by working outside their predictive models. Ah, you're validating my hypothesis. Thank you, dear. May the plan...
I am prepared. Speak freely.
What do you need, Commander?
Such as?
stand against us?
There, a misbegotten fool, soon to fall.
Near death's not a good look, Commander.
I thought I heard something down there. Maybe it's your tin of force rockets.
Off this pariah. What am I supposed to do? Eat my salt tuna casserole at room temperature? I'm
Shudder to imagine what antidote is currently using.
Got a live one.
Picture at hand.
Enemy back. We're from Commander. Don't make me avenge you. Charging ahead! Got you.
Fight upon them!
all that going on out there? These conditions are not optimal for market testing.
Enemy spotted.
choice.
Enemies destroyed. It's killing time.
All right, that marks an excellent suggestion. Now, tell me, how do you feel? And remember, this is for user research, so please be honest.
Ain't paying me enough to pick up after these dim bulbs. Just the other day, I had to warn one of them not to plumb an outlet with their own finger.
How come I didn't get a bonus this year? I worked harder than anybody. Underpaid and overlabored. Story of my existence.
Brackets don't have the gray to skitter around them. Stick with quick loaders while you're swapping ammo.
Auntie Bizzo's Purple Berry Liqueur. Purple Berry in any drink. Purple Berry Crunch, spelled with a K. Because it is far more authentic that way.
What's that?
Is that another
Taking punitive action!
It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. That strategy would be greatly inefficient, Commander. Please allow this. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to this hypothesizing. Given Protect hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's
A would-be tyrant doing something tyrannical. Who could have seen this coming?
The Council's motives are unknown. While destruction may warning, the rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only—
Every rift is a slight against the people of Arcadia, whom I have pledged to protect. And my business with the Council is—
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia. There is minimal room for error.
All wrong. The Protectorate is perverting the inviolate nature of the rifts. This cannot go unpunished. That's the Sovereign's ship, all right. The Consul must be close.
Mandate. It is who we are. That falls to you. The eyes, the ears, the brains of Horizon Point Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate, but none of us—
I hadn't lost my sanity before this. I have now.
The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are. And also, the eyes, the ears,
This is another death befitting a noble subject of the Protectorate. The thought of meeting a similar fate makes me shudder.
Protectorate is perverting the inviolate nature of the rifts. This cannot go unpunished.
The console stands at the controls of the Sovereign's own flagship. My blood boils.
Skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate.
We have stepped into the world between life and death.
We're all in this together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is a mandate. It is who we are.
This is not a death befitting a noble subject of the Protectorate. The thought of meeting a similar fate makes me shudder. Against the nature of all things, we must bring an end Let us hope that whatever architect forsaken logic operates within this place does not fail us.
Armor may be rated for temperatures in the thousands,
but I find blankets still stifling. Let us find an alternative. blistering near
Those plasma spouts. I'm pleased we did not immolate.
If this is what your, ex-compatriot used to destroy Horizon Point, I dare say she could have done so more thoroughly. Anyone can delude themselves into believing their heinous actions are for the greater good. I'm pleased I needn't worry about such a thing.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither.
Be wary, considering those we've encountered thus far.
Wait. Commander? Is that you? No. No, this must be some kind of trick. Law, what's happening to me? So it is you. Thank Law. I don't understand what happened, Commander. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me.
Sounds like they were in the same state as those troopers. Wonder why she can put a coherent thought.
I don't understand what's happening. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. Tried to find the rookie.
You were still alive when the rift disassembled you. The modulator reconstructs information in the state it was stored in, which is why you were brought back alive.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Law, I knew something was the matter. Tell me. Tell me everything. Rifts? Like this one above us? Law. We knew they had something big up their sleeves. Bastards. So this rift, is that why I'm like this? So I've come back from death to some... You can help me though. Right, Commander? You can do something to fix this. Boyd. This is it, ain't it? I'll never see the sun again. Never fly in our ship. Makes two of us. But maybe you could do me one final favor. I trust your aim is as good as ever, Commander. I'm ready.
I don't understand. The situation was resolved. Why go back on your word? Soon the Consul will answer for his many, many crimes. I have looked forward to this for a long, long time.
Protectorate. Looks like they're heading to the Sith Labs. Wonder why.
It is the duty of every...
Dragoons may not be in the best shape after being pulled from the rift, but that makes them no less deadly. Rift has absorbed plasma. Never seen that before, didn't know it was possible. One thing's for sure, we're not getting around it. We better look around, see if we can find anything to help us out.
You're hurt!
Rift has absorbed plasma. Never seen that before, didn't know it was possible. One thing's for sure, we're not getting around it.
Ollivander bound, I'ma find a solution to this problem. Or at least a path less likely to have us torn asunder.
Plasma tightly around it, not unlike a planet and its moons. Fascinating, though it thwarts my...
I think these calculations may actually make sense. Or I'm completely misinterpreting them. One or the other.
operation range.
Soon the Consul will answer for his many, many crimes. I have looked forward to this for a long, long time.
Solve the equation, it would be the Sovereign.
Stealing credit for others' work. Not surprising, and not the least of what he's done.
I should have expected that my sovereign would have solved such a complex equation himself. What a brilliant mind.
Let's plug it into the terminal at the Skip Labs and see if it's right.
Another obstacle on our path overcome. Good work.
Hypothesis was correct all along. The results from the experiment were captured. Let the flame settle as it lies. Data retrieval complete.
Providence. We have business with that rift.
Undetected.
We'd best unseal the hangar. To continue our ingress.
Intruder alert. Be vigilant.
unit evac.
Unfriendly company.
Giving chase.
Let's find the modulator. On deck 2, was it?
If you must replace, please make a request. This ship is only authorized if you are not a Protectorate subject, please purchase a weapon from this display.
Too much mayhem to be sown to stop and talk right now.
If you experience how might this unit bolster or reduce your current blood volume? Note, by viewing...
About to get ugly, Commander. Unless you'd like to avoid the direct approach.
Greetings. Please make a request. Received. Dispensing standard regimental supplies. Subjects in case of enemy attack.
What's going on down there, Deck 01? I saw an intruder alert. Suspicious is what I am.
They send more bodies into the mill of death. We shall prevail. I will come unleash my might upon them. At Jord I shall charge!
Obviously trying to wear us down through attrition, Commander. Must be unaware that we're happy to kill anything they throw at us. What? We need access credentials now? Enough of this. Let's just start killing. Far simpler. That rift modulator's got to be somewhere around here.
Use these credentials when asked. Will return with disciplinary action.
So see, there's a...
Interesting. Very interesting. I had feared that all within the Protectorate had given their earnest support to the Consul. This would be a useful weapon against him.
Considering your manner of being, I wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Those credentials do appear legitimate. What exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time as a gander up. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of this system from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. The IRC. I did not realize you were a colleague of sorts. We raw data from whatever a rift engulfs is preserved, yes.
So you're saying you're unable to extract the perfect essence that the
going theory was that we could purge defects from the data. But it's futile, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound by the same rules as the rest of us somehow. Here, use this keycard. I hope you're able to sway him. Because if you don't, we're all dead. A deck up in control room. The console is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes you...
Look at the sod.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief
Esteemed Consul.
After much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distance. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for, from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space, untouched by humanity, and we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control. That included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions.
The rifts have spawned from unknown reaches? This is more dire than I surmised. But at least we have the means to combat now.
We can concern ourselves. Concern ourselves with that later. First, let's find the console.
We stand at the precipice of our goal.
Pretty sure he won't listen to reason. Might have to kill him. You need to be pretty damn persuasive if you're looking to keep your hands clean. And when that this might be our last chance to resupply and get ourselves sorted. Might want to take?
Our
honorable to the last.
The consul will pay. He will pay most dearly.
This will be quick. My sentinels tell me you have some interesting ideas. Oh, easy. No need to break into a sweat. Interesting ideas can be useful in the right hands. Especially now that our partnership with the Order has become fraught. We may need our own version of their pacifying doctrine.
Oh, so I do have a germ of an idea. A less grand version of the grand plan. Instead of atoms and particles and such, it's made of us. All doing our part, like cogs in a machine.
Interesting. A system where every subject believes they have a role to play. Enthusiastic obedience. Why, the Sovereign and I were thinking of this very thing. What should we call it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's still just a germ of a concept, of a hint of an idea, you see. It's a whole new way of thinking. A new model of society. Quite the paradigm shift.
Paradigm. Very good, Esmond. Say, you look frazzled. Troubled by your own thoughts. Why don't you report to mental refreshment? My staff will personally see to your well-being.
You've come quite close enough. Sentinels, if you would.
Throw as many of your lackeys into the grinder as you wish. You will answer for your crime.
So passionately delivered, and yet so utterly incorrect. What you are witnessing is my saving of Arcadia, and ridding it permanently of trespassers like you. Do not place his decision at my feet. I know it's difficult for the like, and what am I to do but carry on his legacy? What am I to do but achieve what he could not? I don't doubt that. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Oh, I'm sure. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall...
So that rift expansion was not a coincidence. It was a demonstration.
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. Very well. Once the rift destroys Arcadia, we shall... Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy yet. When the Matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Our matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, but it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future, one free of doubt and greed. I've found when most people haven't a leg to stand on, they fall back into formative insouciance in an attempt to redirect the conversation. Listen closely. This is the work of the Grand Plan, guiding us to... Since you took your time scurrying about my ship, presumably rifling through our things, that alone should tell you that we don't make our own circumstances. It seems they were made by the ship. Without this discovery, we may never have realized the power we now possess with the rifts. Yes, the great architect works in mysterious ways. What else can I do but what is bidden? And yet, what is meant to be, will be. It matters not now. As fascinating as your pseudo-intellectual musings have been to witness, I've reached my limit.
To battle!
Can't stop me that easy.
We shall stay their ambitions.
So passionately delivered, and yet so utterly incorrect. And what am I to do but carry on his legacy? You are a relic of an impotent institution. Oh, I was able to buy the time to enact the very... When the matriarch discovered but it is as the grand architect designed. Without this discovery, we may... As fascinating as you...
None shall stand!
Pushing ahead!
I'm alive. Who needs to die? Are you seeing this, Commander? The rift is too far gone and the modulator won't work from this distance. That means flying inside.
Even from the grave, the Council still gets one against us. Damnation.
This is what my whole life has been leading to. If anyone's flying into that rift, it's going to be me.
As always, I do not understand the machinations of your mind. But if you are so inclined to sacrifice yourself, I shall not stop you.
Make me sound valiant and selfless. I want cereals made about this.
Azahalia Lightinger was able to finally end her life nobly by saving the colony with her sacrifice. Not that she cared about that. She was beyond such pedestrian concerns of right and wrong. She was going to merge with perfection, and she couldn't have been happier. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-searing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Having died at the peace talks, Augustine DeVries' treachery was never known to the Earth Directorate. She is forever remembered as the star agent who tragically went missing during her mission. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Inez's convincing appeals to the press earned her clout in reforming Auntie's Choice's cruel grafting program. Yet it was a constant struggle, rife with red tape and pushback from program executives. This was Inez's new battle.
one she would fight for the rest of her life. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. Ever logical and distant from others, Marisol embraced violence as her solution to eliminate random variables from the equation. Unsurprisingly, she was invited to few social functions. The commander's decision to keep archive control from either the Corporatists or the Ascendants had far-ranging consequences, leaving the colony in a perpetual state of uncertainty as the Order and Auntie's Choice continued to jockey for power. Ruth Bassar grew despondent over the Order's lack of progress on the equation. She ultimately became a footnote in Appendix 17 of the Order's 111-volume Annotated History of the Universal Equation. With the old Auntie dead, a new figurehead was needed to keep up appearances. Company execs fast-tracked interviews for a new Auntie, but it was too little too late for the corporation's influence to fully recover, leaving Auntie's Choice deeply in the red. With the population of their fellow subjects decimated by the actions of the Earth Directorate commander, the remaining Protectorate loyalists banded together to preserve their society. Forced to think for themselves for the first time in their lives, they ultimately never recovered. Sovereign Varric was eventually discovered in mental refreshment in a placid and compliant state. All parties felt it would be best to leave him in the hands of the remaining Protectorate, who had the most experience with refreshment's process and victims. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. Unable to die in their sacred rift after it was closed, the Glorious Dawn heeded a new calling, seeking the modulars needed to create new rifts, so that they could die in those instead. The Earth Directorate's leaked agreement with the Protectorate did little to blunt the agency's mission or reach, especially with Skipcore technology released to the public domain. With unlimited sources for their drives, the Earth Directorate expanded their authority across the galaxy. The release of the skip drive schematics to the public domain resulted in new and exciting opportunities for independent manufacturers. However, unchecked use of the drives would ultimately lead to an even greater proliferation of rifts, once again imperiling the galaxy. It was once again up to the Earth Directorate to swoop in and save the day, stamping out rifts as soon as they flared into existence. Eventually, and in textbook fashion, they solved this second rift crisis, but not before much damage had been done. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.
Now that you cleared Spireton, the archive is up for grabs. I suggest handing it to the faction that won't gum up its controls with crisp grease. What is it this time?